Chrissy Teigen. Teigen. Too much information. Hello, I'm Dr. Tudor. What is it that you've come here for today? What procedure or operation have you recently experienced that you would like to tell me about? It might be, for instance, that you've had some skin tags removed and you want to share that with me. Or perhaps you've beat the big C, huzzah for you, and you're having a checkup to ensure that remains the case. Perhaps you've undergone a bit of cosmetic surgery, had the old boobs made larger, or perhaps had some pec inserts to make you look a bit more muscle-bound on the beach this summer. Maybe you've had those rather irritating piles dealt with. No, I'm not talking about Harry and his wife, but the old Farmer Giles, the hemorrhoids. Maybe you've had a hip replacement. Possibly you've had an operation to deal with that ACE difficulty that you've experienced. It might also be that you've perhaps needed to have an operation on your heart to ensure that you can continue living. Maybe a quadruple bypass, something which, as you can hear from the alarms, seems like is necessary for my next patient, who, unfortunately, oh dear, seems to have expired whilst I've been talking to you. Whatever the procedure or operation that you've had, you might have well shared it with close family and friends, but that's about it. There's a possibility that a handful of you might have made reference to it on social media. What you didn't do was ensure that it was plastered all over your social media and picked up by news outlets. But of course, we all know that the ever so desperate for attention, i.e. fuel, Chrissy Teigen, the lady who doesn't know how to pronounce her own name correctly, would revel in the opportunity to give you too much information about what procedure she has been experiencing. And so it has come to pass, as a consequence of the New York Post that tells us why Chrissy Teigen loved her first colonoscopy. I wish it took longer. Chrissy Teigen is feeling well rested, sort of, after her first colonoscopy on Wednesday. I just woke up from colonoscopy and I feel great, the Chrissy's caught. What? Host told her social media fans. But it took like 20 minutes. I honestly wish it took longer because it was a good nap. Teigen, 37, seized the opportunity to educate her fans on the process, walking them through her experience. I'm pretty sure most people aren't really interested in the ins and outs of a colonoscopy, and if you are, you can go and ask Dr. Google. She posted a pre-procedure selfie to her Instagram story, captioning it, "Time to check out that ass." What a delightful human being she is. I'm pretty sure that it's a rather large arse, one that has its own centrifugal orbit that if you were to drop a Benjamin around it, it would start to orbit it. Only an hour later, the mum of four was back, how unfortunate, and in good spirits, updating followers from her hospital bed. So what's the first thing that you do if you've had a procedure or an operation? Is it a quick message to say everything's gone okay, or wake up to find your nearest and dearest beside you, pleased to see that everything's gone well? Or do you immediately think, fuck me, I've got to get this out on social media? Of course, we all know that the narcissist that is Chrissy Teigen needs to ensure that she controls her viewership, that she receives fuel from them, and therefore overshares, demonstrating her absence of boundary recognition and sense of entitlement, telling everybody about a colonoscopy, despite them not asking about it, and then ensuring that she updates them the moment that she comes round. Teigen revealed she didn't enjoy the crazy drink patients are required to drink the night before the colonoscopy. It's like very intense and there's cramping. And obviously you have to get ready to have a camera up your butt, Teigen admitted. But now it can be pills. So now I have to take these pills, a sip of water after every pill, and then a giant thing of water. Days prior to her examination, Teigen was keeping fans in the loop on when and why she was getting the procedure done. Soon, there's going to be a very large jump in people my age, and even a little younger, getting colon cancer because we don't get checked, she said. And we don't get checked because we're told not to. You think that your parents are the ones that get checked. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recommends people get screened for colon cancer at regular intervals once they turn 45. However, earlier and more frequent screenings can take place for those affected by an inflammatory bowel disease, Crohn's disease for instance, a personal or family history of colorectal cancer or colorectal polyps, or a genetic syndrome. I was told by my doctor that people are getting it younger and younger and they should go in earlier and earlier to get checked now, Teigen explained. Now, do not be fooled by thinking that this is her demonstrating concern for other people. First of all, she's concerned about her own health. That's fair enough. But all of this, the necessity of pumping it out on social media and then having it covered in the New York Post, is all part of her narcissism. Once again, Chrissy Teigen will do absolutely anything to pursue the prime aims. Other people would see it as her doing absolutely anything to stay relevant. But it is all about the prime aims, to control people and to draw fuel. She posted a picture of her in a hospital. As far as I know, a colonoscopy can be done as an outpatient procedure and doesn't need a stay. But of course, she needs to up the dramatics about it, make it seem like she's ever so important. Very simply, what a ridiculous comment to make in terms of wanting it to take longer. The point is, she believes everybody is interested in this story. I'm only interested in it because it enables me to demonstrate her narcissism to you all and to take the piss out of her. She has no parameters, no boundary recognition. She is so self-absorbed, she thinks the world is fascinated in the fact that she's having a colonoscopy. But maybe people are interested in what she has to say. A quick dive below the line at the New York Post, T in the Wildlife tells us way too much information. Creus, only someone as vile as Teigen's would think we really care. Empowered, this person needs to keep her personal business to herself. Eddie C, can someone put that tube in her mouth and shut her up? Conserve Repub, my God, can't this useless troll go away? W99, she is a disgusting human being. When I think of her, yes, my first thought is of a colonoscopy. Stephen Samuel, hope they found something really bad and terminal. Big D3, they were searching for a brain and failed. Lizzo's G-string, this woman, and I use that term loosely, is one of the most vile creatures I've ever had the misfortune of being aware of their existence. Paid Observer, my God, going to this extreme to stay relevant. Husband John will be next, extolling her bravery. Steve C, strange, alien-looking character. Ralph Ronaldo, who is she? Micha, how needy and pathetic this insecure woman is. And on it goes. Nobody being supportive, everybody recognizing this is completely self-absorbed behavior. And it's a self-absorbed behavior of a narcissist. I'm H.D. Tudor. Thank you for listening.